So, I am here to talk about something that happened about 20, 30 minutes ago, and I have to get it off my chest because it really, really, really frustrates me. So, I was coming home from work, and I was like, oh, I'll go get a sandwich from the deli, and while going there, I see outside of another deli shop, these two young boys. They had to been around 10 or 12 years old, maybe around 13 or so. But anyway, they're young. And I see them scrubbing at a board with something. And I also smelled this very, very toxic smelling paint. This is like the paint that you use, that you would get from Home Depot to stain. It looks like stainer. And it's what it smelled like and looked like that. And they were staining these big, giant boards. Now, I had a feeling that I had to do something about it. Of course, everyone would say it's none of my business. I have nothing to do with this. I consider it child abuse. Simple as that. I mean, I'm gonna have to say it. I was born and raised in this country, and these people clearly are, immigrated into this country. The kids probably were born and are being raised here. But what I saw outside of the shop, I felt was inappropriate, wrong, and was child abuse. So the best thing I did was I decided to call 311 at first because I didn't consider it an emergency. I was like, okay, I'll call 311. Yes, no, I am in New York City. Anyone knows that yet? Just so you know, I am. So 311, I called them. Hey, see someone say something. It's what I did. Spoke to the operator. They go say, well, this seems like an issue of child abuse. Let's call up NYPD. Operator and I agreed. Person operator answers. Fortunately, very rude right off the bat. Very straightforward. I know they have a tough job, but I'm not asking for customer service here. You're a little pleasant on the phone. You could have a person panicking on the phone or about something, whatever. I was really just being straightforward. They didn't seem to understand what I was telling them. I gave them the crossroads. I told them where I was in New York. They still didn't seem to get the hint what I was telling them. I said, children under 12, two boys outside with these other two or three men. They're painting boards. It smells like toxic paint. It's clearly child abuse. Can you send somebody out here to go take a look at this just so it can be cleared up and I have a good conscience that maybe I did something? Uh, Unfortunately, then she said, "Well, you smell paint, right?" I was like, "Did it smell toxic?" Did you said the word toxic? I mean, yes. I'm like, "So unfortunately, we'll have to call. We're gonna have to call the New York Fire Department." Okay, let's call the New York Fire Department. Fire department was even confused. They're like, "Okay, so he's telling me the story." Even the guy from the fire department was also a bit rude to me on the phone. Very, I think he's doing his job, but it's just like this. I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you what happened. I called 301. I went through the whole thing again. Now, I'm only trying to do something about this, and just being a good citizen, I'm just trying to do something. But no, I get treated as I'm some sort of dumbass, and I'm gonna say it. That's the way I sounded to them probably, and they just were like, "Oh, this doesn't seem like a real emergency." Well, no shit. You probably call, have NYPD go check it out, just like someone calls up a noise complaint and maybe go check it out if they're in the area. That's all I was requesting. So I'm like, they'll just wait around. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll wait around that area. So I wait outside of my Dunkin' Donuts, and they came. And what do? They show up and they send like two big ass fire trucks, which was completely unnecessary. This isn't that type of emergency where there's a fire. Um, I have called and fire department in New York before, do a gas leak, which was legit in my building, which was fixed. Now in this situation, I'm like, okay, now I have to talk to the fire department. I go speaking to their lead guy, the sergeant, whatever it was he was, and he's sitting in the front seat, all leaned back. He looks tired. I know it's like 12 in the fucking morning. I get it. All right, but it's not my fault. I told him exactly. NYPD called you guys, and now you're sending you over here. What do you want me to do? I'm calling you guys to check it out. Obviously, they sent you for a reason. So he goes, "Oh, go talk to the other guys who are standing over the street." Okay, so I go to the other truck, and I go speaking to them. This guy looks at me like, "Oh, I don't see anything out here." I'm like, you sent like literally had to be 8+ men in full uniform rushing out of the place when they could be going to go to a fire or something, but they're coming out here to go see this. All we had to do is have NYPD come out here and go check this out. it seemed to me NYPD just wanted to brush it aside and just did not care about what was happening. That's what I got from this. And they were like, no, fire department in New York can handle it. It's not really an our type of emergency. Okay, all right. So while speaking to this fire department, that's the thing. I have nothing against the fire department or NYPD. I'm just saying that this is what I witnessed, and this is what is kind of makes me cringe a bit that this is not being handled seriously. This is something that I mean that they could have actually done and maybe done something about it, but they didn't. Okay, so I'm out there, and then the guy goes, "Oh, well, I don't see anything going on now." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's that then. Okay, there's nothing I can do." Clearly, they didn't see two children sitting out there with wet boards that were clearly painted with stainer. You can smell it in the air still, and they didn't want to do anything about it. NYPD didn't come out there and check it out. They didn't care. And I'm not a liar at all, just so you know. I don't lie about these things. These are things that I see and I witness. And yes, the child abuse going on all over the world. But I'm trying to go out there and say, hey, are you gonna do anything about it? No. I just see two grown men sitting out there having their young boys scrub down a board with like paint stainer with like it looked to me like they didn't have gloves on it first. I think maybe they did have gloves, but the fact is they shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. It's toxic. These kids shouldn't be drinking it, like like smelling that. They also didn't have masks on, nothing. And to me, it frustrates me that this wasn't being handled, seriously. I mean, I guess they just want someone to be shot or killed. Though I'm gonna say it. Hey, even drugs being on the street too. You see that or something? No, no, you don't give a shit because things happen so quickly. They don't want to trust like a civilian's voice. Okay, so you're not gonna trust me. I'm not gonna trust you. As simple as that. So if I see child abuse going on, what do you want me to do? Just shoulder shrug, walk away from it? Yeah, you're not gonna do anything about it, are you? All right, I'm just telling you right now. This is what I saw and witnessed, and it's in Harlem. Let you know. Yep, the old Spanish Harlem up here. So whatever precinct, whatever one to handle up here, that's up to you guys. I'll make it public and I'll say something. I don't really do very much, and I feel, me leaning on to past 30 years old here. I gotta say something. I'm tired of it. I gotta speak up. I'm tired of seeing all this, bullshit that's happening around me, and I'm not the type of person who likes to speak up, and now I am. So that's my first little video post here of my experience of trying to be a good civilian and say something. Now, even if it just had to be, hey guys, this is not cool. You shouldn't tell your kids to do this. That's not my place to go up to these men and say this. This is NYPD's job. Okay, I'm not going to get involved, of course, to go up and tell these gentlemen because I don't want to conflict with these gentlemen. I don't know who these gentlemen are. They don't need to know who I am. Okay, what should have been done is NYPD should have went out there themselves and went to go check this out and looked at it. But no, I guess they're too maybe busy driving around the street, going over to maybe a 7-Eleven or something, and then which I've seen before. Out there, yeah, go ahead, go on your break, guys. Yeah, it's like, another thing is I love NYPD. I love you guys too, but from what I witnessed here, this wasn't cool at all. It wasn't cool. It wasn't professional the way I was treated, honestly, and the rudeness from the voiceover, like the way I'm getting like eye rolls from the New York Fire Department as well, saying, "Oh, you ready to come out here?" Okay, so why don't you, if you see what I'm seeing, why don't you call the police then yourselves? Hey guys, mind go sitting out here across the street just for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes, or just maybe walk around to go see, or have someone who's undercover, just go out there, go and take a look. No, no, I guess we're too busy doing other things, but I guess it's my 2 cents for life in New York.